Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network and producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, and Phil Svitek, this is I Talk Movies. Long-form interviews with leading members of the film industry. And now, your host of I Talk Movies.
Stick it to the man. That's right. I am your host of I Talk Movies today on Popcorn Talk Network. I'm James Lott Jr., and I'm glad you could help join me today. We're going to talk about the movie Sinkhole. I almost said stink.
Don't start.
I know. I almost said it.
Come on,
said
man.
it.
So
But I said it right. Sinkhole.
That could have gone so wrong
That's
so
right.
quickly.
Exactly. But I did it right correctly. Thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited to have two of the stars of the movie that was released February 23rd on Amazon Prime and iTunes, actually. And one of them plays paramedic Chet in the movie, and that is Mr. Steve Rizzo.
Hello. Thank you.
He's right here, folks.
Thank you.
He's right here.
And the guy sitting next to him plays Jason in the film, and he's here, Mr. Paris Dillon.
Hello, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, you guys. I'm glad to have you guys here. So, folks, I had to look up what a sinkhole was. I kind of knew what one was, but I'm going to read you the definition that I found.
Let's see how close you are.
Okay, here's one definition I looked up. It says, a cavity in the ground, especially in limestone bedrock, caused by water erosion and providing a route for surface water to disappear underground.
Fracking. Is that
Now,
what it's called?
I went to college, but I was like, I don't know what the F that means. So I went back in and found a one that works better for me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, good.
Yes. A depression or hole in the ground caused by some form of collapse of the surface layer.
All right.
That makes sense.
That's taking
Does it sound better? Like a little
easier to
easier?
understand.
Thank you. The more you know. The more you know. You know that one. The more you know. So I was just like, that just seemed easier to me because I was like, okay, I know what they kind of are, and I've seen recently that some have actually happened.
Yeah, the big ones in Florida happened like right after we shot this. And we're like, wait a minute.
You caused it. In that movie, you caused it. It's crazy. No, I loved it. So it was great. It was directed by Scott Wheeler, written by Keith Shaw, and it stars Eric Roberts, Gina Holden, Jeremy London, among others, and you guys.
And us.
And you guys. So we're going to actually show a part of the trailer shortly. We're going to show a part of the trailer so you guys get an idea of kind of what's going on.
Let's do it.
And then we're going to play the whole thing, of course.
All right, let's just get the good stuff.
Yes.
Like me and Steve.
I love these kind of movies. I do.
Good? Really?
I
Okay,
do.
perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm a fan of these. Anything disaster kind of things. And I met Eric Roberts once. I have a story about him.
Isn't he great?
Oh, he was great. He told me he had a great voice. I was like, thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
I'll take that. He has a great voice. I'm like, where'd you guys shoot this movie?
Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
So it was here. It was here. Okay. Well, you do a lot of shooting actually out in Santa Clarita, man. It's a major place to do a lot of shooting and stuff. But it's like, so wow. So basically, it's a group of teenagers get trapped in a bus in a sinkhole.
Yeah, but this guy thinks it was a kidnapping.
Oh, that's so
My
funny.
Faja.
Your Faja.
Oh, who's that?
Kidnapped.
I was like, Jeremy London. I'm like, oh my God. You know him. But the special effects are great.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at that. So there's like family drama. There's like, you know.
It's a lot more drama than sci-fi than I thought it would be.
Exactly. Yeah, right, it was.
Because it's marketed as almost like a sci-fi.
Yes.
But it's really more action adventure drama, I'd say.
I kind of got that from the preview.
Yeah.
So you agree with that too?
I'd have to. Yeah, it's more of a drama.
I have to find her.
But there's a family element to it too. Yeah.
There it is, folks.
Family element.
It's a fun movie. It's a fun.
Yeah. So for both of you guys, so each, how did it come into your orbits? So Steve, we'll start with you, of course.
It came to me when I got a call from casting because I knew the casting director, and he said, "Hey, can you come in and read for this part? I got this little part in this movie that I'm doing. Can you come in and read for it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So he sends me he sent me one page.
Oh.
So I'm like, "Oh, cool." So I thought it was like a little tiny co-star one page. I'm like, "Oh, cool." So I read it and went in. Okay, cool. So I got the role. And then he sent me the script, so I'm looking for my page.
Yes.
And oh, there it is. And I keep reading. Oh, Chet. Chet. I'm like, oh
All
my
over.
God. I'm like, this. I'm like, oh, okay. This is bigger than I thought it was going to be. So
Yes.
no, it turned out to be. It was just a blessing because it turned out to be a great role.
But so you knew the casting director before, and
Yeah,
you've
yes,
done other
yes.
other auditions for them. And how did it for you, Paris? How did it come to you?
I got this movie just like I get about 90% of my other work. I got an audition and then got a call back and got a second call back and
Wow.
then booked it.
So your manager was like, "We have an audition for you to go to." He send you out.
Yep.
And
Manager said, "Hey, try this one on for size." I was like, "All right, sinkhole. Okay,
All
let's
right,
see."
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll do it. I mean,
Track.
And so when you do auditions, what is your mindset when you go in usually?
Oh shoot! Before going in,
Yes.
man, it depends on what the audition is. I mean, sometimes you've got one line or something for a co-star,
Those are the worst. Oh,
or a
those-
commercial.
really?
And you're stressing about this one line, really, of how you're going to play it, and trying to look at what's happening before that line, and trying to, and it kind of gets in your head a little bit. So you try to refrain from like getting too deep into this sentence that is just about life.
But you can't help it because it's like, okay, I have one line to show everybody what this character is. One line. And,
One line.
and then you start overthinking
Exactly.
it. You're like, oh, I gotta do it this way, I gotta do it this way. You do it 14
Right.
times in your head, and then you do
Oh,
it for camera, you screw it up, gotta do it again.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it totally depends. And then there's the 10-page ones where you're cramming in the car right
on
before.
the way to your first day.
I had one today for this TNT show, Last Ship or something.
Oh yeah. Last ship.
yeah.
Last ship. Mhm.
I didn't get it, but
That one line messed you up, didn't it?
you're in this waiting room with everyone else that looks like you, and
Oh, yes.
you're sitting next to the guy who's doing his breathing exercises, and the guy across is like doing some kind of voodoo thing, and you're in this environment, and you're like, gosh, how do I stay out of this? Like,
Just say-
I just want to be just present
me, just be
in
there,
this
right
moment.
there,
Right.
yeah.
So
right.
it's different every time.
That is so. I love it. I mean, and for you, I mean, how's it for you doing auditions and things? Like, you agree with what I'm
I've definitely
saying.
gotten better with it. I mean, I'm one of those guys now where I go in, my training is this of just be present, be there, know the material, and be comfortable with it, and don't worry about what's going to come out because you don't know what the reader's going to do. So that's how I kind of approach things. I get very familiar with the material, but I don't overdo it. And when I get there, then whatever the reader gives me is what I give back. And I try to give back a little bit more, obviously, depending on what the reader's doing.
Yeah.
And that's how I approach it. That's definitely how I approach it. But I do have a one-line experience on Life on Mars. I had a one-liner.
the show.
Yeah, I had a one-liner with. It was one line with Harvey Keitel,
Oh my God.
Michael Imperioli, Jason O'Mara, and Heather and Gretchen Mall. We were all walking down this hallway, and I had one line.
Yes.
And I was stressing over this one line.
Oh, my
Not only did I
God.
have one line, but now I have one line with Harvey Keitel,
Exactly.
Michael Imperial, Jason
Right,
O'Mara,
Gretchen Mol.
and Gretchen Mall.
Yeah.
And we got it like 3 takes, but in between, I'd walk away, right? And Jason would come over to me and say, all right, relax, man, relax. It's going to be okay. It's one line. I'm like, yeah, I know. Then Imperioli came over. You all right, Rizzo? You going? Is everything cool? And then Harvey Keitel, because now I got the 3 of them
Oh,
like
my
in my
gosh.
head going, you're going to be fine. It's one
Oh,
line.
my
I was like,
God.
oh my God, I'm going to pull my hair out. It was crazy.
There for you, buddy.
Hysterical.
Been there,
It was
man.
hysterical.
I'm actually going to be part of a web series called Broken at Love. But the creators actually write me a small role. I haven't acted in a long time, so I'm now I'm laughing about that. I'm like, it'll probably be a really small role. Like, okay, a few lines.
Ask
I'm
for
like,
more than one line.
Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm
Yeah.
like, how do I say this? Oh my God!
The secret is when
Okay, tell
you
me.
audition, you forget about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Afterwards, it's like it didn't happen, right?
Like walk away.
It's
Oh, really?
And when you get a call, it's a pleasant surprise. Like, what?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember
remember
that,
that
a
one,
little
yeah,
bit. Sure, yeah, I'll do it. That kind of
really?
thing.
When you walk out of the room, you crinkle up the paper, you throw it in the trash, and you go on with your day.
You forget
about
it even happened.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I did today. I can't remember.
I forgot what I had for
Blackout.
breakfast.
Well, that's because we're old.
That's something else.
That's something different. That's me
That's a
too.
whole nother-
That's something
that's a whole
totally
nother
different.
show.
Another show. So okay, so you did the audition. You both. So when did you find out you got the roles? Each of the roles. Like how long was it afterwards? Because obviously you went off, forgot about it, did your life. I mean.
I can't speak for Paris. Mine was, I don't know, 3-4 days, I guess.
Okay, so 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And so they tell you got the role, and they tell you you're Chet the paramedic. And did they give you a breakdown like who he was, or was it just like
Yeah,
the
when
paramedic?
the character's introduced in the first scene, it says, Chet, paramedic, 40, whatever,
Plus.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And,
40 plus.
and that kind of thing. So then,
Okay.
So then once you start going through the dialogue, then you can break down what the character's
Okay.
about and everything. And,
How's it being off the gear and stuff?
I didn't wear a lot of gear. I wore just
jacket?
No, and there's a story to that because we were shooting in Santa Clarita in December.
Yeah, it was cold.
Overnight, it was 25 degrees,
Ooh.
but we couldn't dress like it was 25 degrees.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So I had like a shirt not unlike this with sleeves rolled up and dicky pants and boots and that with gloves. That was it. And we were freezing, and we were like running between shots to the heaters. I even at one point had brought my car to the set because we were so far from the trailers. Had brought my car on the set and turned it on, and we would all jump in the car.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, wow.
We were freezing.
That's right.
Wow.
And we couldn't. We couldn't get. They didn't have enough time in between shots for us to get to a tent that they had heated. So we were just making.
You improvised. I like that.
The outdoors shots were really cool
Yeah.
outside. Even inside this giant studio, it was, and that where they built the sinkhole. Spoiler alert: there's a sinkhole in the
Really?
movie.
There is? That's pretty
Titanic sank.
They built it, and they had like two school buses, a working one and then a non-working one.
Okay.
And inside there was just, and I was covered in mud, bro.
Yeah, you were most of the time.
I like was in water, like
my
drowning.
God.
Like
Oh my
it got
God.
serious, but we love
you're
it,
in a-
right?
you're in a sinkhole.
right?
What's gonna
we
else
love
gonna
this thing,
happen to
right?
you?
Yeah, I mean, we had to.
So that leads into you. So when you found you got the role of Jason, explain who Jason is in this piece.
Jason is the son of the oil tycoon that is his father, Chandler, who is kind of doing illegal oil drilling within this small town.
Okay.
And my girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend. That's funny. I actually say that in the movie.
Oh, did you really?
I actually say that. I go,
Oh my God.
my girlfriend. Wait, no, my
Oh,
ex-girlfriend.
that's so funny.
Anyway, whoops.
Oopsie.
Freudian slip.
Oh, oopsie.
Hi, Brooke. Maybe she'll call me.
I like that.
So I'm. What was I saying?
I don't remember.
Brooke, you're messing me up.
You're talking about your character,
Right.
And so you're the son of the oil tycoon. I'm the host. I can bring it back.
Thank you,
The oil
thank you.
tycoon and your ex-girlfriend. I said it correctly in the film.
Is
got it.
an environmentalist because of her mom, right? Or
Yeah. If I remember correctly, yeah.
they're protesting this
Yep.
oil fracking. So there's this conflict between her and I, and we want to be together, but she's like, "You're just some rich boy because of your dad, and you don't even care about the environment." So there's this underlying like love story within this like environmental message, and my dad just not giving an F,
Yeah.
and just completely
It's money driven.
money driven,
Yeah.
and just drilling these oil wells, and poor Eric Roberts has to do what he says.
yeah. I love Eric Roberts.
Oh, man.
I actually ran into him at Dancing with the Stars behind the scenes one year, and I stepped on Sherry Shepherd's foot. And he was with her,
course.
and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, girl. She's like, I wasn't paying attention anyway. And then he was standing right behind her because they knew each other from the show they did for her. And he was like, nice voice, man. I'm like, and he touched my shoulder. I was like, thank you, Eric Roberts.
There it
Thank
is.
you. And then I was pushed along. So that was my Eric Roberts
along.
story. Move along. Keep on going.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see. Don't talk to Eric Roberts. Keep going.
Don't look him in the eye. Don't look him in the eye.
So okay, so you have your roles down, and how long was shooting?
For me, it was about 2 weeks. I guess we were at Santa Clarita
Okay.
for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I did like 19, 21 days.
Okay,
I think.
now is that about normal for people out there who may not know? Is that normal or not normal for these kinds of movies?
Depends.
TV
It
movies?
depends on what the budget is.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, smaller budgets obviously have shorter shooting periods than larger budgets, but it just depends on the budget, really.
Yeah, budget is a huge factor, and nowadays they can pump out these giant films within a month.
Yeah.
Not like it used to be, like Dustin Hoffman with The Graduate. That was 100 days of shooting with a non-action movie. Is just unheard. It's not going to happen today. So for us, that's pretty standard. Like 3 weeks to. I mean, you're in the hole for a couple weeks.
The hole.
He's talking his partner into saving the kids. And it's I think 3 weeks.
I believe I actually tried to talk her out of going in, but she wanted to do it. So
Yeah.
Now we know you have a stunt background, and you were in the hall. Did you do your own stunts? I mean, was that something you got to do?
Steve, besides being a great actor, he's also an awesome stunt coordinator.
Exactly.
And that really played into like being on set and being super helpful. And there was some. What kind of stunts did I do? Falling into a mat, maybe.
Oh, okay.
some of that falling through being on top of the bus and jumping across.
Jumping
when we were
across.
Jumping across
That's
the,
right.
God, we're giving everything away for those who haven't seen it.
Okay, is this normal?
Stop talking.
I give people a talk. I have this way of people I interview.
Okay, so it's normal to give stuff away. All
Yeah,
right.
there was some cool stuff.
We're talking. I talk movies. They're talking about the movie.
Okay.
You haven't given away like the ending or plots or
Well,
really.
what's funny is I should have brought a copy. My mom bought me one.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
What's funny is the do you remember we're hanging on to the ropes of the hot air balloon, and you were there like propping us up and you're like, how are your arms? I'm dangling for 45 minutes. I'm fine, Steve.
That's right. Oh,
I'm great. I'm a trooper.
They had built the rig, and the kids had to hang. We
wow.
had these loops for them to hang off, and then
Yeah, and they didn't even use it. They didn't even use it
It's not even in the movie.
Oh my god.
because it probably didn't look
Oh, they look great.
the
so
best.
funny.
It's my guess. It's my
It was
guess.
you and
So
Brooke.
you really did help with the stunt coordination while you were there.
Yeah,
right?
a little bit.
A little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
But if you saw people doing stunts, can you stand by and watch people when if you're not the one involved, them set up stunts? Can you do that?
Yes, I can. I can actually separate myself.
Okay.
From, yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious. You know,
No,
people
that's
like,
all right.
because, like an organizer, I see the other ones seem like you're not doing that right.
Right.
You're fine, but you're like, no, you trust them. You
Yeah,
obviously
you're
they
good.
know.
Yeah, you're good.
You get time off. You can be an actor, right?
Yes.
Did you have any stunts in the film that you had to do?
No, I did not.
See, how ironic is that?
Right.
You're a paramedic.
I know, I did not. I did not have any stunts in the film.
Do you have a lot of yelling? Your role was a lot of yelling in the movie.
No, my character was very calm and
A
very,
little bit.
Oh, he
What
said a
about
little bit.
What about the scene with you and Joan, and you're just like trying to like you're making sure she's doing the right thing outside.
Oh, when I was rolling up the hose.
Yeah.
The
I
hose
should have
or
said
the
that
hose?
when he was rolling up the hose.
There you go, that's it.
Yeah.
I was
passionate. I'd say it was passionate.
Yes, I was a
It
little
was
pissed.
passionate.
You know these movies, there's a lot of like the yelling parts. Of course, like you gotta do
Right.
what I'm telling
I was a
you.
little pissed at her.
I would say it was passionate.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
passionate.
He was
Okay,
very
okay.
passionate.
Yeah, I was upset with her.
How
And you'll
was,
find out why.
you'll find out why. We're not giving that part away. We're not finding out why. But I mean, so the basic plot is the bus of the kids goes in and it's kind of you're trying to save them. Is that the basic plot of the movie?
Pretty much.
Am I missing
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah, with the love story under there.
Love
Yeah,
story, love story, family drama.
Gina Holden and
Family drama too, totally. Yeah,
I mean,
parents
yeah.
divorcing and selling the house.
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
Boy, this day keeps getting better.
We were enticing them to watch to go see the movie. That's not just some like
Why don't
it's
we
not just action.
can we just play it on this break screen?
I know, let's all
Watch
just kick back and
How much
watch
time we got left? So what's the next thing? Can we play it in half an hour? No, it's kind of funny. So how was Scott Wheeler as director for each of you guys?
I enjoyed working with Scott very much. He's one of those directors. He's very low key. He's very direct with what he wants, and he explains it for you enough to understand it very easily.
Okay.
And I love working with those kind of people. And he says, "This is what I want. This is how I want you to get it." Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, okay, very straight shooter, just like this is
Yeah,
how.
but he doesn't.
But
But
clear.
But way he explains it, it's easy for you to understand. It's not convoluted in any way, and it just makes for a much more pleasant working environment.
And so you're shaking your head, same for you, kind of. Is it
Oh
same?
yeah, 100% agree with Steve. He also is very open to conversing and talking and creating a dialogue between you and him of where we want the scene to go, or what about this moment is really important, and he's open to suggestions too, which is rare
Oh,
sometimes.
yeah, no, that's right. A lot of directors are like, I do not have my vision.
Right.
You're an actor.
Exactly.
Just do what I ask you to do.
So that was a pleasure to work with him.
Were there, for each of you guys, were there any scenes that were really hard for you to do in this movie? Or not even necessarily hard, maybe just challenging, I should say. Challenging. Okay, he's laughing. Someone's like, he's
go for
laughing.
I have a scene with Gina. It's me, Gina, and Eric Roberts, and it was my first scene with Eric.
Okay.
And I'd never worked with Eric before. And for some reason, I was just nervous as crap.
Oh, how
I don't know
funny.
why. I don't know. Sometimes he comes. He's a really really nice guy, and I love working with him. But to me, I was like he was almost intimidating to me.
Yeah.
Because he's Eric Roberts.
Yeah, yes, he's been around for a long time. Yes.
So I was like, I was a little intimidated, but so the first couple of takes, I was like, but then as we got rolling, and it was like that was like one of my first days when we shot that scene, and so it took me a couple of takes to get rolling, and I had to like roll into it, and I'm like, all right, I'm good now, I'm good. So then everything was just like, but other than that, I think that was it. That was it for me.
So that's good. That's good. Just a beginning day jitter.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Basically, kind of. I mean, that kind of happens.
Because they
I
already
guess.
threw me, 27 pages out of a one-page audition,
Well, yeah,
and
right.
then your first days with Eric Roberts. Oh, okay.
Sure, I'm an actor. That's what I do. Right. Sure. And now for you, was any scene, because you have probably more challenging scenes than
Yeah,
you.
I mean physically
Yeah,
challenging.
physically, yes.
Well, it's just nuts when you're in makeup for the first hour or two, just getting mud
yeah.
caked on every day.
So,
Going,
let's break that down. So is it really like, this is how I talk movies. Is it actual like mud? Like, is it dried like makeup kind of? I mean, what is it?
for the outside scenes, I think literally they picked up some dirt and water.
Oh my God.
But for all the inside,
We were
I
working
was
in
just
a
like-
cow field too, I think.
Oh, can you imagine?
now you tell me.
I know. Like, can you imagine?
Where's the union? Bull.
I love bull. Exactly.
cow.
Or cow. Exactly.
But when we were in the studio, yeah, it was just, there's a picture of me with like 3 makeup artists with all their gloves on, and they've got makeup,
Wow.
they've creating some mud.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And then a little bit of blood, that's
Yeah.
fake. And one scene was I literally submerged in water.
Okay.
And we had to, you do it a few times. So,
Oh yeah.
so,
Okay, so right.
we're me and Brooke, the ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. Ex-girlfriend. Yes.
We're laying in this water. We have fallen. We're in this water pit,
Yes.
and we're like, it's freezing. Remember what
Water?
Steve said?
Yeah.
He said
Yes. Freezing. Yes.
Okay, and we're in the bottom of the sinkhole in this pit, and it's freezing cold, and we have to dunk your whole body, and
Okay.
the scene starts with us like gasping for
Oh,
air.
okay. Okay.
right?
Got it. Okay.
So we did it a couple times, and then I went to Scott Wheeler, the director, and I go, hey, for this next one, I'm not gonna come up, but don't cut. I said, don't cut. I'm just gonna stay down there.
What?
And what happened from that was Paige Brooke had to was freaking out, literally,
Oh my God.
and shaking.
No,
me
I
to
would
get
be
me
too.
out.
I think that's the take they used.
Yeah,
think it
I'm
is.
pretty sure it is. Yeah.
I would be freaking out also. Oh my God, my co-star. Like, what's going on?
So that was pretty interesting, and then you do the scene, and then you get up out of the water, and that was kind of challenging that part. But,
How do they keep you warm? You say you mentioned heaters and stuff, but like and things like that. Do you have blankets right away? They have like those special. They have a lot of stuff.
yeah,
Wardrobe's pretty good. They're
Right.
they're literally if you see the actor
Okay.
in that kind of situation, you can guarantee the wardrobe is literally 2 feet away
Okay,
with a
okay.
robe that's probably heated.
Okay.
And blankets.
Yeah.
And as soon as they
Yeah.
get cut, they're like it's like putting out a fire. They're
Yeah.
like they're on you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was wondering about that. Like that because people don't know Santa Clarita is north of LA, and it's I call it canyon country. It's like out there. It's
like an hour north.
I always think of like Magic Mountain, like past Valencia.
It's
out
low
there.
desert, so
Low
we do
desert.
get desert
So
temperatures,
You do,
summer and winter.
People
Yeah.
forget that desert can be cold.
It was 25 degrees. I remember. It was 25 degrees.
and it was negative 25 wet.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, exactly right, exactly. Oh my God, I don't know how we all you do what we can for acting, right?
Yeah.
For a role.
It was a great experience.
It
I do
was,
have to say, yeah. And I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining the situation.
And so, how was Gina Holden? We talked about Eric Roberts a little bit. How was Gina?
Gina's awesome. Yes, that was the first time that I'd ever worked with her. I had no idea who she was until I'd gotten there, and she's a constant professional and just the sweetest person.
Very good.
And we're still friends to this day.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So
Now, did you guys have trailers? Did you guys have? So you had places to go to downtime, look at your lines,
Yeah.
play around, whatever you guys want to do. So you did have that. Okay, so you did. As you said, it was about 3 weeks of shooting.
it was
What's
about 2 weeks for me.
2 weeks for you and 3 weeks for
speak
you.
2 weeks for him, 3 weeks
for
for
you.
me. Yeah.
So after you were done, how did you feel after you were done when you completed the film? You were like, I feel good. I feel like this was good.
I treat that kind of stuff like an audition. It's like, okay, I'm done with this, and now I'm going to move on to the next thing.
Got it.
And if something, whatever comes out of this, I'm not going to worry about because it's out of my control. So, okay, I finished. I did good work. Now I'm going to move on to the next project. That's kind of how I look at it.
Very good. And you're about the same way too.
Well, that was my first feature.
Oh,
That was my first
very
feature
good.
film I had ever done.
Congratulations. That's good.
Thank you. Yeah.
didn't know that either.
Yeah, that was my first one.
Yeah,
Well, by the way, this movie was like I mean,
Yep.
4 years ago, 3 years ago, we
A
shot
few-
this like
a few
3
years ago,
and
yes.
it's finally made its way because it was so it aired on Sci-Fi one
did.
time,
It did.
and then it was sold to a handful of Eastern European countries
Yes.
for like a couple years. It
Yeah.
was on there. That's why I had random fans from. I had
Oh,
no
wow.
idea why there was this Polish people like talking to me. And I'm like,
okay.
I'll
Okay,
take. You must
sure.
have saw my Dunkin' Donuts commercial or something over there. I didn't understand it, but then it moved to Walmart, Best Buy in Canada.
Okay.
And now it's finally on Amazon.
I was in an acting class a couple of weeks ago, and my scene partner comes in one week, and she says, "I just get back from Canada. I forget what she was doing in Canada." She says, "Were you in a movie called Sinkhole?"
Oh my
I said,
God.
"Yes." Why? She said, "It was on TV in my hotel room, and I heard your voice."
Oh,
I turned
wow.
around,
My
my scene
God.
partner. But it's playing in Canada. It's like,
Well,
I don't even hear you.
apparently,
Yeah.
we're going to show your scene in a few moments. It was kind of funny. So yeah, I thought for sure it was on Sci-Fi Channel because Sci-Fi does these movies
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
They like
that-
these movies. They do
that-
them themselves. And they also license them out from people.
That's what I heard. That was the talk going around set when we were shooting it. It was going to be for Sci-Fi, and I think
And Redbox or something.
Redbox or Hallmark Channel or something.
Oh, okay.
That's what we were hearing. So
But then it really, like we were saying, it didn't turn out too sci-fi.
No.
no, it's not. It really isn't.
no.
Yeah. I
Just
mean,
from the scenes I'm seeing, it seems like a drama
Yeah.
that happens to have this kind of natural
Little
element. that
disaster
happens.
in it,
Little
yeah.
disaster in it. And I love me some disaster movies.
Yeah,
I
disaster
do.
movies are
I'm a sucker for a disaster. I was watching San Andreas the other day.
I can see that. I haven't
yeah.
seen it
Now, I
yet.
went and saw it in IMAX 3D.
you saw it?
And then I saw it was the bomb. Could make the chairs were shaking and everything.
Oh,
What?
then I-
40.
40, that's what I'm gonna say 40.
40,
And
yeah.
it was great. And it was over in Playa del Rey. They have a place in Playa del Rey. So then it was on HBO the other night. I was watching it again.
I gotta
I'm a
catch
sucker for those kind of. I'm just a sucker.
I
I'm a
gotta catch
sucker.
that one.
Sucker. So let's go ahead and show Steve scene.
Yeah. Let's do
Clear
it.
about 100 yards for me to set up.
You got a plan?
I'm going down there.
Joan, it's suicide.
Just get ready.
All right, Joan, I'll clear an area.
There's still hope.
Humor her. You must be tough waiting like this.
Doing anything's better than just sitting here. Come on, Riley.
Gotta get those kids.
Save them kids.
Those dang kids in that dang hole.
Kids, get off my front lawn, you kids.
That was good. Steve to the rescue there.
Steve Sarsky. Now, I want to ask you both actually, because now you guys are actors, and when you first saw the movie, you both saw the movie right later. You saw it later. You watched it. You watched yourself.
Yes.
You watched it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of watching
I
myself.
was going to ask
but
you
yes.
that
Yeah,
because I watch myself when I do something kind of like, oh no. How did you feel when you watched it?
I was happy. I was happy with it. I mean, this is 3 years later.
Yeah.
I think I'm a better actor now. I'd like to
Okay.
go back and do it again.
Word.
Yes.
Word.
That's real. It's not interesting. I mean, everybody changes
Yeah,
from role to role.
yeah.
I mean, you change, you get more experience.
Yeah. So I'd love the opportunity to go back and do that role again. I think
Yeah.
I'd probably do it completely different.
Same with you too.
Yeah, I think the movie turned out. It's a fun flick. It starts off a tiny bit TV movie-ish, but the kind that you like.
Yeah.
So and then it kind of gets really good, like
Yeah.
around 20 minutes in
Yeah.
or so. And there's a story here, and then you don't know what's going to happen, and there's
Yeah.
like interweaving plots and things. So it's I like watching it. Sometimes it's hard to watch yourself,
Yeah, it is.
but sometimes it's not.
Oh, listen to him. Dang, he's like. Sometimes I like watching myself sometimes, late at night. Yeah.
No, I'm not Johnny Depp where I'm
Right.
not going to look at the film I just did. How do I learn and grow
Exactly.
from that?
I agree with that. I actually agree with that.
It makes me uncomfortable. Sometimes will make me uncomfortable if I because when you do something on set.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh wow, okay, that was really great. And then you finally see the final cut. You're going, oh, it wasn't so great.
I'm sure.
And then it makes you makes me a little uncomfortable. I was like, nah, I don't want to see anything else. But then you got to make yourself do it. But I still will never be comfortable watching myself. It's
Well,
never
how
happened.
is it watching stuff you do with other people? Like one day, I do a show, an after show here at our sister network, AfterBuzz TV, called Out in Pastor. Michael Rosenbaum comes every once in a while. He's the star of the show, and he comes on our show. And one day we had him watch the show with us before our show started. He's like, I can't watch it. It's so crazy because it's good, and the show is really good. You're like, I'm just seeing all this stuff. I can't watch it with you guys. Like I can watch it by myself, but I'm hearing you guys laugh at certain parts. I'm thinking, yeah, they should laugh. Why did they laugh at that part? So how is it for you guys? Like when you watch your work with other people in the room with you?
again, it makes it's a little uncomfortable to me.
Where you're constantly like
Our own worst critics.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Because my wife will sit there and go, "Oh, that was so great." I'm like, "Oh, well, I don't know. I didn't do this a little bit different. I don't know." She said, "No, it was fantastic." Yeah, so it's that's just what actors are. We just
Yes.
It's true. It's because you want them to like everything.
Right. No. Right.
And that's
right.
impossible.
Yeah.
That's really. I mean, it's not like because certain parts speak to certain people differently.
That's true.
So,
Very
like,
true.
I just had a film go to a festival that I was in. And,
What film is it? You want to say it? Can you say it?
yeah, Across the Pond.
Okay.
We've gotten into a couple festivals. We just got into North Hollywood Cinefest.
Very good.
March 19th. It's screening up there. But I saw it premiere at another film festival in Washington, and it was interesting because I wrote it and produced it and starred in it.
Excuse me. Very good.
I co-wrote it.
Okay. Very nice.
And it was interesting where you'll hear this side of the audience laugh, and then at that joke, but this side won't, and then this one will laugh at a different part.
Oh my God.
And then some will laugh together, and it's just it's an
trip, I'm
experience
sure.
like it kind of is intriguing because you wouldn't think that until you hear it in first person.
Wow.
Yeah,
I want to ask you about your name. Is that really your name, Paris?
That is 100%. I didn't do it. My mom.
I love your name. So I'm just like, how? Where's it
Dad's
from?
French. Little bit of
There you go.
Paris. Dylan.
Oh, okay.
Right? Parlez-vous français?
No.
oui.
No,
I
you
speak
knew what I
Spanish.
said,
What
though.
did you said though? I speak Spanish. So
That's
it's kind of close language. I mean, they have similar setups.
right,
Spanish
right.
and Spanish, French, and Portuguese have similar. The romantic languages.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
similar setups. That's really cool. So they named you Paris.
Yeah, not really a cool story, except that I mean my name was really cool up until about 10th grade when Paris Hilton hit the scene.
There you go. There you
And
go.
boy,
you
man,
go.
my popularity took a dive.
And there was a Paris on Gilmore Girls. That was
Yeah,
another
as a
thing.
girl, it's all these.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you get that? They don't see your face yet. Do you think you're a girl automatically?
sometimes I use that to my advantage.
Okay.
Like in
That's
an
right.
email or something, I'll just write Paris. You
messing
know.
Oh, I like that.
And then they're like, "Oh, this is a girl, so I better be nicer to her."
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Steve Rizzo, are you of Italian descent?
Yes, Sicilian.
I'm like, wait, because that which is different. I learned that.
There is a difference. Yes.
Sicilian,
Sicilian,
there's a
Italian.
different thing.
Yes.
Can you explain to folks what is the difference of that? Because I always hear that.
Sicilians come from the island of Sicily, and Italians come from the country of Italy.
I almost said the island of Italy.
Yeah.
Right.
I was going in right. But
So-
yeah, I've heard it's very different.
Yes, there is a difference. Yes.
Very good. I was like, you do look very Italian.
Oh, thank you.
But they're all Italian, but are they
Well,
completely separate? Like
We're all considered
nationalities,
Italian. No, because Sicily's part of Italy.
Right.
So we're all considered Italian, but the Sicilians and Italians, they don't, for lack of a better word, they don't agree. They don't
Yeah.
agree to be the same.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I've always heard that.
Yes.
So I was getting a chance to ask. I've always heard that. Like, I've been corrected many times.
Yes.
When you go to New York,
yes,
you
yeah,
get corrected on what.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
well, I'm half a Sicilian. I'm like, well, don't you? No, I got it. I got it.
So you're Italian? No.
No. So this movie is out late. Now it's been released so many. You brought up a good point about how in this business is so unpredictable. It's been released basically 3-4 years out later. How does that feel now that you're revisiting this movie? I'm talking to you about it. Like,
Oh, it brings back like lots of memories. It brings back freezing our butts off in the middle of this field, and just the nervousness and and then the camaraderie of every it just brings back a lot of cool memories.
Yeah.
Because there was absolutely no egos whatsoever on this film, and
That's good.
And
Oh my God.
it was the whole experience was wonderful, and I wish I could do another film with everybody, the whole thing.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And for you, that was your first feature, so
Yeah, to go along with what Steve said, since it was my first feature film, I kind of expected all the rest to be like that, and it just wasn't. So I really, now looking at it and remembering all those times we spent on set and rehearsing and all that, I'm like, wow, that was a great experience.
Yeah, it was.
Like, it's not all like that, and you're not gonna connect that well with everybody on set, and it just was a great time, and I'm glad that it's out now to revisit the
it
memories.
sounds like you had lightning in a bottle, as they always say. It was like you had lightning in a bottle for that moment. Everybody came together, you had a good time, and did a film you guys all really enjoyed.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
definitely.
So I mean, Amazon Prime, iTunes.
And Netflix in like what, a month or something?
Yeah, Netflix coming up.
Oh, so they're still rolling it out. So Netflix is coming out and
So
rolling it out.
so Amazon Prime, is that like? It's online. You can
Yeah,
Yeah,
watch
you
it.
can buy
Yeah.
it. You can buy it, but they'll eventually stream it through Amazon Prime.
Okay, cool.
Where
So
you
it's
can,
streaming,
you can rent it.
or you can buy the physical DVD
Right,
on
and you
Amazon.
can rent it on iTunes or buy it from iTunes too.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that. Well, you know what? That's all the time we have for today.
What?
Of course, I
Oh,
know.
wow,
That flew by.
But I mean, I want to talk to you guys more. You have to come back. We have to
Alright,
talk
anytime.
more. Because you have some films. You have film things coming up. I mean,
Yeah.
let's talk more.
Is that an open invitation?
Open invitation.
Don't do that. I'll be coming knocking on this door. Hello.
One time that
Like, where's James Lott Jr.? Where's James Lott Jr.?
John,
I know he's in here
hashtag
somewhere.
James Lott Jr.
I know
He
he's
told
hashtag-
me open innovation.
He said I can come by anytime I wanted.
Yeah.
I'm like, we'll set it up first.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
Here we
like
go.
I said,
Now
no,
here's
Now
the
he's
fine
like-
print.
Now he's like, send me an email.
Where's the
We'll talk
asterisks? Okay, I got you now.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's all-
Here's my,
James.
here's my
PS.
people's number. Call
Exactly.
them.
Invitation.
PSS or PPS or the good goes. Yes, something like that. But you have my emails now.
Yes,
You
I
have
do.
them.
Yes, I
You
do.
give them to you. We're following each other on Facebook and everything.
Facebook and Twitter,
Twitter,
and,
the
and
Tweeter machine.
Instagram. Yeah.
So actually tell folks, because Sinkhole, there actually is a hashtag for Sinkhole. I've seen it on
Yeah.
Twitter and stuff, so you want to know more about it, and articles on it, they're on there. But tell the folks where they can find you in that camera over there. We'll start with you, Steve.
You can find me on Twitter at Steve Rizzo _ and on Instagram at it's official Steve Rizzo, and Facebook Steve Rizzo Facebook. Find me, friend me, follow me. I need the followers.
I know.
I'm so desperate. I need the attention because I didn't get it as a child.
And for the job too. That's
And,
what sucks.
yeah,
It's
yes.
literally what it is nowadays.
I had talked about that the other day with somebody because I have about 14,000 followers on Twitter.
Shut up.
And I've been working hard. I feel each follower I got.
My
I
goodness.
earned them.
You
And then
earned
people
it.
do look at it and go, oh, you have this many. And I never thought about it before that they actually use that.
Oh man, totally. It's the way of the game now.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
breakdowns where it says must have at least 10,000 Instagram followers to even be considered
I've
for an
seen that
audition.
too. Yeah.
Oh my
That's the
God.
way it's going. It started with bands when club promoters
Yes.
said you must have 10,000 Facebook likes.
Exactly, yes.
Because it makes sense for them. Why would they hire a band
Yeah.
without a built-in following?
Right.
Yeah.
So
I agree
now
with
it's our
See,
job.
nobody has any patience anymore. You got to have the following now. We want it now. You can't. There's no building a brand anymore. It's like, you got to have it now.
Yeah,
You want
it's
it
like
now.
instantly.
So where can they find you and follow you and all that
Yeah,
stuff?
that's right. ParisDylan.com, Paris like the city, Dylan like Bob Dylan, Dylan, and my Instagram is on there at Paris Dylan. Twitter is at Mr. Paris Dylan because Paris Dylan is taken by someone named Zhu Fang in China who won't give it to me. He won't return my emails. He has 0 tweets and 1 follower. Guess who the follower is? It's me. I follow Paris. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. Mr. MR. Paris Dylan for Twitter. See you guys there.
You guys are the bomb. Thank you so much for being on
Thanks for
here.
having us,
Thank you, man.
It's my pleasure, of course. And that was I Talk Movies here on the Popcorn Talk Network. You can find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, under Popcorn Talk, and popcorntalk.com, of course. You can find me at Black Hope LA on Twitter. That's BLAK Hope LA on Twitter, and James Lott Jr. everywhere else. Thank you for watching.
Hashtag James.
Hashtag James Lott
Hashtag
Jr.
James Lott.
Everywhere you can find that. And go see Sinkhole. Go to iTunes and go to Amazon Prime, and we'll see you next time.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.